Okay, for our next chapter in this adventure, we're going to try to remove the back. What we have here is the side, comes up to an edge, and then there's a kind of a step, which I believe is the kerfing, and then the back is glued on top of the kerfing, so there's not a clear 45-degree angle here. So this back is glued on really, really tightly. Whoever did it used a lot of glue. I can't find a gap anywhere. So the goal today is just to get a gap started from which I can work away. I'm going to heat it up with an iron again. I'm heating up now, and then I'm heating up some flat tools. This one is a little spatula that might be used for putting frosting on a cake, and a few other flat tools like that. I've also got a shard of a hacksaw blade here which I can cut through, but I want to try to cut the glue without harming the wood as much as possible, and definitely don't want to break the back. If I harm anything, I would harm the kerfing, which can be repaired. I certainly don't want to split the back, but that's a danger. So I'm going to start along the side where there's a little more strength. It's more apt to split if I start down here near the heel. I'm going to start up here. And I'm going to start by warming it up with an iron, which is on the lowest setting. And just get it hot without harming the finish. Got a couple of razor blades on hand, chisels. Just want to get the glue warm. And just try to slip a blade in there. And if I fail at that, then plan B will be to go through with a saw, cutting through the kerfing. But prefer not to do that. Okay, this is getting warmer. Not very warm. Let's see if I can. The blade is pretty warm. Okay, got the blade through there without breaking anything. Let's put it back in. This water is about 150 degrees. Now I've got a steak knife, which is fatter. That is a little too fat. Now I've got a kind of a thin knife with no serrated blades on it. And just sort of stick that in there. Alright, this is working. The other thing about this blade is it spreads some heat so that when it sits in place, it warms up the area a little bit. Then I can come back in with a warmer blade and get started. The other consideration is you're going to run into braces here, so you'll make good progress in between the braces, then you'll kind of come to a stop. I think it might have happened here, although there shouldn't be any braces right at this spot. Let's move this out of the way. Maybe you can see what I'm doing here. This steak knife is not working as well as I expected. This nice frosting spatula is working very well. Let's take a look at it. You can see it. I've actually got a bigger one of these that I couldn't find it. Here's a nice, just basically a putty knife. It's fatter, the steel is fatter, but that's good in a way because it's got some thermal mass to it. So I can sort of leave that in place. It'll warm up the wood where it's sitting. Okay, this is just kind of a dead end here. What I want to do here in my video is speed it up, but I haven't figured out how to do that with the video tools that YouTube provides. Well, here's a revelation. Looks like this back is plywood. Amazing. Did not realize that. And that means it may mean that the arch on here was created by clamping pieces of veneer in a mold, gluing them in position, and then, you know, a mold that's in the shape of this arch. That's a good way to do it. I wonder if that's how they actually did it. That would require a lot of tooling, but it would be pretty effective, and might save them time on creating bracing. Okay, working the knife around. Let me tilt this way so you can see what I'm doing. I'm getting the knife in there and just sort of angling it, and I get some light on this. My light isn't really directed. Just keeping an eye on where the knife is entering and making sure it's right on the line of the kerfing and the back. And if I'm going to miss it at all, I want to err on the side of cutting away kerfing, which again can be repaired or flattened with a file before reinstallation. Okay, this is getting cool, so I'll put these back in the hot bath, which is still pretty hot. Leave that there, it's nice and warm. Put the steak knife back in the bath, in the coffee cup. Okay, I think I see why this is so stubborn about coming off. Looks like there's a mahogany heel block starting right here, and the person who repaired it got it really well glued onto this block. See, the thing is, when you glue onto the block at the heel, you get much better contact because it's deeper than the kerfing. The kerfing's only about 3/8 of an inch, but the block can be a good bit more than that. There's much better gluing surface there. Same with the block up at the neck. That's always a little more difficult. So this is not popping off. So what I may do is score along here with a razor blade so that when it does pop off, I'll weaken the joint a little bit by pre-scoring it. Maybe I'll try the hacksaw blade. Yeah, it's doing some good. You can't really control the line of the hacksaw. That's really not ideal. Drop my towel. I'm going to try to speed this up on YouTube. This part, it's a bit repetitive. Someone please recommend some software. But we're coming along. Another hot knife. Okay, and I'm going to stop this video here and make this 4A, and then there'll be a 4B, I think, because I want to stop and think for a while.